All right, let's talk about one of the biggest, most universal hurdles in entrepreneurship. How do you get from that little spark of an idea to an actual concrete plan? It's that journey from doubt to actually doing something. So let's dive right in.
I mean, you know this feeling, right? It's something every single aspiring entrepreneur has felt. You've got this great idea, but it feels like it's just lost in this thick fog of what ifs and all this uncertainty. You feel stuck. So how in the world do you start to cut through that fog?
Well, the very first step is to kind of reframe the entire problem. What if uncertainty isn't this big, unbeatable monster? The core idea we're looking at here is that uncertainty is really just a product of ignorance. And the powerful thing about ignorance? It's fixable. It just means there's information you don't have yet.
So to clear away that fog, we first have to understand what it's even made of. And it really breaks down into three very distinct types of ignorance, or you could say three types of uncertainty that pretty much every entrepreneur is going to face.
Think of this as our roadmap for navigating the fog. It all breaks down into these three layers: state, effect, and response. And if we can understand them and tackle them one by one, the path forward starts to look a lot clearer. So let's break down that first one.
So first up is state uncertainty. This is basically ignorance about the landscape itself. You just don't understand the environment you're about to step into. Who are the real competitors? Is the market actually growing or is it shrinking? It's that feeling of not having a map of the territory you're in.
Okay, next is effect uncertainty. So let's imagine some new technology suddenly appears, or a key government regulation changes. The question is, how does that actually affect your idea? This is the cause and effect puzzle. You just don't know the link between a shift out there in the world and its real impact on your venture.
And finally, we have response uncertainty. And this one's all about your own decisions. If you pick this price point, or you choose that marketing channel, what happens next? This is often the most intimidating type of all, because it's the uncertainty about the consequences of your own actions.
So here's the crucial point. These three uncertainties, they don't just exist as abstract problems on a whiteboard. They create two very real, very powerful mental hurdles for anyone trying to start something new. Ignorance, which is that lack of knowledge, and doubt, which is that lack of belief in yourself.
But, this is where things start to change. Because as we begin to systematically chip away at these uncertainties, as we start gathering information, that fog begins to lift. And through it, we start to see the first glimmer of a real opportunity.
And this right here is the direct payoff. As you start replacing that ignorance with actual information, something amazing happens. A real opportunity starts to take shape and emerge from that fog. You're actually moving from a state of not knowing to a state of seeing a path forward.
Now, what's really interesting is the kind of opportunity you see first. It's what the source material here calls a third-person opportunity. So you've done enough research to say, hey, there's a real gap in the market here. Someone could build a really successful business doing this. But notice that keyword, someone.
But someone isn't you. And that right there is the single most important leap an entrepreneur has to make. This next phase is all about turning that objective observation into a personal mission.
And this is the critical distinction. Getting to that third-person opportunity, that's all about overcoming ignorance with research and facts. But making it a first-person opportunity, that's about overcoming your own internal doubt with belief. It's that huge, huge leap from thinking, someone could do this, to truly believing, no, this opportunity is for me.
And honestly, this is the heart of it all. That final step isn't about more market research. It's about belief. It's about looking at that opportunity you've identified and having the confidence to actually claim it. This is the moment an idea truly becomes your venture.
So, what happens next? You've cleared the fog of ignorance, you've conquered your internal doubt, and you've finally claimed the opportunity as your own. How do you move from that powerful belief to practical, real-world action?
So, once you've made that critical leap and you've claimed this opportunity as your own,
the very next logical step is the feasibility study. This is where you get to stress test your belief with a concrete plan. You analyze the financials, the technology, the operations. It is the crucial bridge from I can do this to here's exactly how I'm going to do it.
So we'll leave you with this question. Think about that idea that you have. And don't worry about overcoming all the doubt at once. Just ask yourself, what's one question you can answer? Just one small piece of that fog that you can clear away right now. Because that That is the very first step on the path from doubt to doing.